Hi everyone, Brian Baker. I just wanted to talk to you a bit about the GoFundMe campaign that we got going on for the Lost for Words. Momentum is going well, and just wanted to briefly touch on some of the key notes that you might want to share with folks when you're talking to them about why this documentary is important and why they should get on board with funding it. So on the outside, it's about Rose and her mom, two wonderful women with diagnosed chronic communication disabilities, and the hell they have gone through for the last almost 10 years in a dispute with their neighbors, originally over drainage. That is the gripping, stranger-than-fiction story we'll cover and discover through the documentary process. What we're also very interested in, though, is exploring how people with communication disabilities are perceived by regular folks, more pertinently, by professionals in the legal field. What kinds of accommodations exist in our court systems, and are there things that can be improved upon? In reference to, how do you describe a communication disability, and what does it mean for people that are encountering other folks that have communication disabilities? If you tune into each circumstance a communicationally disabled person goes through in their life, it can almost start to look, and I stress the word look, a lot like chronic bad luck. Each encounter with police, lawyers, judges, municipal officials, it just seems like these people end up with the short end of the stick. The truth is, I'm learning that when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. After all, if you can't communicate effectively regarding the fairness of your claim, how much harder is it to get these very important people to advocate for you or take your side? Without the ability to bring people on board, to get them on your side, what happens? Well, you end up losing all the time. That's what looks like has happened to Rose and her mom. Some studies estimate that more than half the people in Canadian prisons suffer from some form of communication disability. That's startling, and it comes from the notion, I believe, that most people assume if the person they're talking to has trouble communicating with them, they just aren't very smart. In many cases, this means professionals will simply discount them and their claims, and in some cases, as Rose contends, some will even go so far as to exploit them in any way they can. A good example, not of exploitation, but certainly as to how people can be misunderstood, comes from Rose herself. When she talks to you, she likes to watch her lips to help her understand you better. Sometimes this leads to her stepping toward you as you talk. Most times, she doesn't even know she's doing it. Now put that behavior into the context of an encounter with a police officer who's been trained to see that as potentially aggressive. At the very least, it explains why her interactions with police over the years have so often gotten off on the wrong foot. Yes, her neighbors are Mennonites with a rigid religious code. Out of frustration, Rose has done things to fight back, such as cranking Kanye West music out of her garage or cutting the grass in a bikini to offend their sensibilities, I assume. Over the years, she has done her best, the best she could, with very little help forthcoming. Now Rose and her mom have a strong network behind them. The congregations of 2 local churches are helping out. She's had meetings with government officials and third-party advocates. So the word is getting out there, but it's not enough. They need their story aired, and that's what we're really hoping to provide. They are amazing, wonderful people. Rose is a terrific artist who would do anything for anyone. Neither of them deserve this, and that's a big part of why I got involved. We're approaching this project journalistically and objectively. A good documentary shows, it doesn't tell. We very much want Rose and her mother to come out of this process in a better place than they were going in. That's very important to us. I'm willing to grab a coffee with anyone, present to groups of any size, to make the case for this project, and I really hope some people out there will take me up on that. I really think that this is a very important project. Not just for Rose and her mom, who deserve so much better, but for all the communicationally disabled people out there who need fairness from our court systems. Go to our website services page and click the Lost for Words link to go to the GoFundMe campaign. Our web address is bizbio.com, bizbio.com. And I can assure you that everyone who donates will receive a huge thank you email from me along with their reward, whatever it should be. Thanks for listening. I really do appreciate your interest, and I think if we can get this documentary produced, it will be unique. This is an issue that is, believe it or not, despite all the media attention around mental illness these days, communication disabilities specifically, and how other people interact with people with communication disabilities is an aspect of it that really has not been touched on the way it should be. So this documentary is very much needed for that reason alone, and I hope you'll help. Thanks.